Hello everyone, welcome to KVPY SA Stream 2011 Physics Solutions. A simple pendulum oscillates freely between points A and B. We now put a peg at some point C as shown in figure. As the pendulum moves from A to the right, the string will bend at C and the pendulum will go to the extreme position D. The point D will lie on the line AB, will lie above the line AB, will lie below the line AB, will coincide with B. Time period of a simple pendulum T equal to 2 pi root L by G. Since the length reduces after the string comes in contact with the peg, time period decreases. But the system is not losing any energy since the friction and other dissipative forces are ignored. So, as per law of conservation of mechanical energy, the bob should rise to the same height even after coming in contact with the peg. So, the point D will lie on the line AB. A small child tries to move a large rubber toy placed on the ground. The toy does not move but gets deformed under her pushing force F, which is obliquely upward as shown. Then, the resultant of pushing force, weight of the toy, normal force by the ground on the toy and the frictional force is 0. The normal force by the ground is equal and opposite to the weight of the toy. The pushing force of the child is balanced by the equal and opposite frictional force. The pushing force of the child is balanced by the total internal force of the toy generated due to deformation. As the toy does not move, the resultant force acting on it must be 0. The pushing force is applied by the child, the weight, that is gravitational force applied by the earth, normal force applied by the surface, and frictional force also applied by the surface. Resultant of all these forces should be 0 as there is no effective displacement of the body. A juggler tosses a ball up in the air with an initial speed u. At the instant its maximum height is capital H, he tosses up a second ball with the same initial speed. The two balls will collide at a height. Initial speed of the first ball is u, maximum height attained by the first ball is capital H. Time of ascent of the first ball T equal to u by g, that is also equal to root 2h by g. Initial speed of the second ball is also equal to u. Let the two balls meet at time t. Then we can write x equal to half gt square and h minus x equal to ut minus half gt square. So we have t equal to h by u. So the height at which the balls meet is h minus x, that is h minus half g of h square by u square, which comes out to be 3h by 4. On a horizontal frictionless frozen lake, a girl 36 kg and a boy 9 kg are connected to each other by means of a rope. Initially, they are 20 meters apart. The girl exerts a horizontal force on the boy, pulling him towards her. How far has the girl traveled when she meets the boy? The girl and the boy are on frictionless surface. There is no horizontal force on them. The weight, that is gravitational force, and the normal reaction balance each other for both of them. The force exerted by the girl on the rope is an internal force for the boy, girl and the rope system. Since internal forces do not affect the motion of center of mass, the boy and the girl will meet at the location of their center of mass. XCM equal to mg xg plus mb xb by mg plus mb, that is 36 into 0 plus 9 into 20 by 36 plus 9. Here we have taken the initial position of the girl to be origin. So the distance traveled by the girl is 4 meters. The following three objects, 1. a metal tray, 2. a block of wood, and 3. a woolen cap are left in a closed room overnight. Next day the temperature of each is recorded as T1, T2 and T3 respectively. The likely situation is: for the metal tray, specific heat is less, so it attains room temperature quickly. For the block of wood, specific heat is more, so it attains room temperature slowly. Woolen cap, specific heat is maximum among the three, so it attains room temperature very slowly. As the three objects are left in the room overnight, there is a lot of time available, so all the three objects will come to the room temperature ultimately. So we can write T1 equal to T2 equal to T3. We sit in the room with windows open. Then air pressure on the floor of the room equals the atmospheric pressure, but the air pressure on the ceiling is negligible. Air pressure is nearly the same on the floor, the walls and the ceiling. Air pressure on the floor equals the weight of the air column inside the room per unit area. Air pressure on the walls is 0 since the weight of the air acts downward. Pressure exerted by a gas is due to the momentum transfer taking place during the collision of gas molecules with the surface. In a given room, at a given temperature, all the air molecules will have same speed, hence same momentum. So the pressure is nearly same on the floor, the walls and the ceiling. A girl standing at point P on a beach wishes to reach point Q in the sea as quickly as possible. She can run at a speed of 6 kmph on the beach and swim at a speed of 4 kmph in the sea. She should take the path. Speed of the girl in sand is 6 kmph and that in water is 4 kmph. Time taken to go from point P to point Q, T equal to T sand plus T water, that is D sand by 6 plus D water by 4. Since the girl can move faster in sand and slower in water, she should take longer path in the sand and shorter path in water, that is PCQ. In ray optics, the same concept is explained by Fermat's principle. Light enters an isosceles right triangular prism at normal incidence through face AB and undergoes total internal reflection at face BC as shown below. The minimum value of the refractive index of the prism is close to. See the diagram. Angle of incidence on face AB is 45 degrees. For total internal reflection to take place, angle of incidence should be greater than critical angle. I minimum is equal to IC. Sin I minimum is equal to sin IC. Sin IC is nothing but 1 by n. So we get n equal to root 2. A convex lens is used to form an image of an object on a screen. If the upper half of the lens is blacked so that it becomes opaque, then only half of the image will be visible. The image position shifts towards the lens. The image position shifts away from the lens. The brightness of the image reduces. When the upper half of the lens is blacked so that it becomes opaque, the amount of light passing through the lens is reduced, thus reducing the brightness of the image formed on the screen. A cylindrical copper rod has length L and resistance R. If it is melted and formed into another rod of length 2L, the resistance will be. Resistance of a wire R equal to rho L by A, that is rho L square by V, so R is proportional to L square. For final resistance, R dash by R equal to 2L by L whole square, that is R dash equal to 4R. Two charges plus Q and minus 2Q are located at points A and B on a horizontal line as shown below. The electric field is 0 at a point which is located at a finite distance on the perpendicular bisector of AB, left of A on the line, between A and B on the line, right of B on the line. Electric field intensity due to point charge E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. It is directed away from positive charge and towards negative charge. Since the two charges are of opposite sign, zero field is not possible between the two charges. Consider a point to the left of A at a distance x from A. Let the separation between the two charges be d. Field intensity due to positive charge EA equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by x square. Field intensity due to negative charge EB equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2Q by d plus x whole square. The resultant field EA minus EB equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by x square minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2Q by d plus x whole square. It is 0 when x equal to d by root 2 minus 1. A 750 watt motor drives a pump which lifts 300 liters of water per minute to a height of 6 meters. The efficiency of the motor is nearly, take acceleration due to gravity to be 10 meters per second square. Work done by the motor W equal to mgh, that is 300 into 10 into 6, 18,000 joule. Power of the motor P equal to work done by time mgh by T, that is 18,000 by 60, which is 300 watt. Efficiency of the motor eta equal to output power by input power, that is 300 by 750, that is 0.4. In percentages it is 40%. Figure below shows a portion of an electric circuit with the currents in amperes and their directions. The magnitude and direction of the current in the portion PQ is. You can see the diagram. Current flowing into the junction C is 10 ampere. Current flowing into the junction E is 6 ampere. Current flowing into the junction B is 4 ampere. So current flowing into the junction Q is 3 plus 3, that is 6 ampere. So the current in the portion PQ is 6 amperes from Q to P. A nucleus of lead 82-214 emits 2 electrons followed by an alpha particle. The resulting nucleus will have 82 protons and 128 neutrons. 80 protons and 130 neutrons, 82 protons and 130 neutrons, 78 protons and 134 neutrons. Electron emission, that is beta particle, Z increases by 1 and A remains same. Alpha emission, that is helium nucleus, Z decreases by 2 units and A decreases by 4 units. So lead 82-214 gives rise to 2 beta particles plus alpha particle plus lead 82-210. So the resulting nucleus has 82 protons and 128 neutrons. It is a isotope of the parent nucleus. The number of air molecules in a 5 by 5 by 4 room at standard temperature and pressure is of the order of volume of the room V equal to 100 meter cube, standard temperature is 273 Kelvin and standard pressure is 10 power 5 Pascal. Applying ideal gas equation, PV equal to nRT, PV equal to N by NA RT, where capital N is number of molecules and NA is Avogadro number. So the number of molecules N equal to PV NA by RT, that is 10 power 5 into 100 into 6.023 into 10 power 23 by 8.314 into 273, which comes out to be 2.65 into 10 power 27. An object with uniform density ρ is attached to a spring that is known to stretch linearly with applied force as shown below. When the spring object system is immersed in a liquid of density ρ1 as shown in the figure, the spring stretches by an amount x1. When the experiment is repeated in a liquid of density ρ2, the spring stretches by an amount x2. Neglecting any buoyant force on the spring, the density of the object is. For the first liquid, we can write mg equal to fb1 plus kx1, that is downward gravitational force balanced by upward buoyancy force and restoring force developed in the spring. Mass can be written as volume into density, so v rho g equal to v into ρ1 into g plus kx1, which gives vg of ρ minus ρ1 equal to kx1. For the second liquid, mg equal to fb2 plus kx2, that is v rho g equal to v rho2 g plus kx2, which gives vg of ρ minus ρ2 equal to kx2. Dividing both the equations, we have ρ minus ρ1 by ρ minus ρ2 equal to x1 by x2. Rearranging the terms, we get ρ equal to ρ1 x2 minus ρ2 x1 by x2 minus x1. A body of mass 0.5 kg moves along the positive x-axis under the influence of a varying force F in Newton as shown below. If the speed of the object at x equal to 4 meter is 3.16 meter per second, then its speed at x equal to 8 meter is. Applying work energy theorem, W net equal to delta K, that is half m of v square minus u square. We can find work done from force displacement graph by finding the area included between the graph and the displacement axis. You can see the diagram. The shaded portion is the amount of work done. The area of the shaded portion can be written as 4 into 1.5, that is for the rectangle, plus half of 4 into 1.5, that is the right angle triangle, which is effectively 9 joule. W net equal to 9 equal to half into 0.5 into v square minus 3.16 whole square. Simplifying the expression, we get v equal to 6.8 meter per second. In a thermally isolated system, two boxes filled with an ideal gas are connected by a valve. When the valve is in closed position, states of the box 1 and 2 respectively are 1 atmosphere Vt and 0.5 atmosphere 4Vt. When the valve is opened, the final pressure of the system is approximately. Since the system is thermally isolated, temperature remains constant after opening the valve. Number of moles of the gas also remain constant, so we can write N equal to N1 plus N2. Applying ideal gas equation, PV equal to nRT, N equal to PV by RT. So P into 5V by RT equal to 1 into V by RT plus 0.5 into 4V by RT, which gives P equal to 3 by 5, that is 0.6 atmosphere. A student sees the top edge and the bottom center C of a pool simultaneously from an angle theta above the horizontal as shown in figure. The refractive index of water which fills up the top edge of the pool is 4 by 3. If h by x equal to 7 by 4, then cos theta is. From the diagram, cot r equal to h by x by 2, that is 2 into 7 by 4, that is 7 by 2. From there we can write sin r equal to 2 by root 53. Applying Snell's law, n1 sin theta 1 equal to n2 sin theta 2. 1 into sin 90 minus theta equal to 4 by 3 sin r, which gives cos theta equal to 4 by 3 sin r. So cos theta equal to 4 by 3 into 2 by root 53, that is 8 by 3 root 53. In the following circuit, the 1 ohm resistor dissipates power P. If the resistor is replaced by 9 ohms resistor, the power dissipated in it is. Effective resistance of the circuit R equal to 4 ohm. Current through the circuit I equal to V by R, that is 2.5 ampere. Power dissipated in 1 ohm resistor P equal to I square R, that is 6.5 into 1, 6.25 watt. When 1 ohm resistor is replaced with 9 ohm resistor, effective resistance of the circuit R equal to 12 ohm. Current through the circuit I equal to V by R, that is 10 by 12 ampere. Power dissipated in 9 ohm resistance P dash equal to I square R, that is 100 by 144 into 9, that is 6.25 watt, which is equal to P.